Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk a little bit about a new study that just came out here in Utah. I want to show you some of the statistics that we are seeing across the state when it comes to Utah real estate prices. Now, as we jump into this, as always, make sure to give me a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and make sure to reach out to me if you're making that move here to Salt Lake City. I absolutely love it when people reach out. My information will be here on the screen, so make sure to get in touch with me. Call, text, or email anytime, and let's have a chat about the type of home and lifestyle that you're looking to have when you do make that move here to Utah. So without further ado, let's just jump right here into this article. So this article here says new study reveals which Utah cities and counties saw the biggest housing price increases. Now, we're not going to read this whole article. We're just going to take a look at these two different graphs that they have right here, this one and this one. Let's go ahead and pull this first one up right here, make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. Go ahead and zoom in. So this is showing the differences in the percent change in median sales price in Utah by county from 2020 to 2021. This is quarter two to quarter two. So this shows it actually ranked by the percentage change with the counties here on the left-hand side. So this is based off of, I should just give some credit here, University of Utah's Kempsey Gardner Policy Institute. They do a ton of research studies when it comes to real estate here in Utah. So they do a lot of the studies that we see regarding statistics. So Sevier County actually had the largest percent increase, almost 46% increase. That's only out of 121 transactions though. Sevier County is very small, so not a great reference point there. Now, if we look at the larger counties, Summit County, which is where Park City is at, saw a massive increase from 800,000 to 1.1 million, which is a 43% increase out of 1,079 total sales. Also coming down here, you've got a somewhat more reasonable numbers, still insanely high, price increases here. But Washington County, which is where St. George is at, that's on the southern part of the state, is a 29% change out of 2,800 sales. Weber County, which is where Ogden is, went up 28%. Utah County, which is where Lehigh and Provo, Saratoga Springs is at, that's 24.7% out of 5,000 sales here. So you can see that the median price in quarter two was at 344,000, and it jumped up significantly here to 430,000 in quarter two this is actually looking January to June of 2021. So massive increase here. Let's find Salt Lake here on this list. So Salt Lake saw also a massive increase going from 365 to 440 on the median price. So Utah County is now almost as expensive as it is in Salt Lake County, which is pretty surprising. Honestly, I think maybe 1 or 2 more years and Utah County could be a little bit higher even. Salt Lake County here saw a 20% increase out of 8,405 sales. I think that some of the differences here is that Utah County has a lot of really nice areas. It's mostly a new area. And so when you get newer housing, it typically is a little bit more expensive. Whereas Salt Lake has a lot of older areas. It's got a lot of old areas downtown, out by the airport, West Valley, Magna, that are a little bit cheaper, right? So those are going to sell for a lower price overall, and that's going to bring down that median price when you look at all things considered. So it's pretty insane here to see these percent increases, even in the smaller counties. I mean, even in counties where you're seeing farmland or just vacation homes or, kind of just houses or real estate that's out in the middle of nowhere, we're seeing massive increases here, 58%, 55. One county actually went down, which is pretty surprising, but most of these saw massive increases somewhere between that 10 to 58% range. That's absolutely nuts. Let's take a look at this other graph here. Let me go ahead and pull this up. This is year-over-year change in median sales price of single-family homes in the large cities. So this is just single-family homes, again, looking from the second quarter of 2020 to the second quarter of 2021. So right here, we saw the biggest percent increase in Layton. We saw that the second quarter of 2020 was at 355, and in second quarter of 2021, it went to 504,000. This is 150,000. If you bought a house in Layton a year ago, your house is now worth $150,000 more. That's absolutely insane to see that type of growth. Harriman saw the same thing. Harriman actually saw a larger increase in pricing, going from 449 to 620. Now, this is a smaller percentage change because the numbers are a little bit bigger, but going from 449 to 620, I mean, that's over $170,000 in value increase just for the single family homes. Lehigh, it's almost the same exact story. 408 to 556, that's almost $150,000. Logan saw the same thing. That's where Utah State University is at. St. George, same thing. 130,000 increase right here, give or take. Provo, 32% increase. Ogden, 32%. All of these cities, Orem, Sandy, Salt Lake City, Taylorsville, West Valley, South Jordan, and West Jordan all saw between 24 and 32% increases. Now, I'm a little bit surprised that even cities like Saratoga Springs or Eagle Mountain are not on this list here, because I would expect that those home prices also went up pretty drastically from where they're at. They might be here, just below this at like 24, 23%. I'm a little bit surprised to not see them on this list here, but those home prices have gone up in those cities as well. So this is just some information for you to kind of keep an eye on what's happening in the market. A lot of people will say, hey, these home prices are out of control. They're inflated very heavily. And although, yes, things have gotten very expensive, I don't know that I'm necessarily in agreement with that like these things are inflated, right? If the demand is there and there's not enough supply, then prices are going to go up. It's not, something that everybody likes. I don't like it. It's not necessarily a good thing if you're going out there and trying to buy a home. It's a great thing though if you own real estate. I should say that. I like that for my rental properties. But the fact is, when it comes to single family homes, and it's just even homes of all types, if the prices go up, that's not always beneficial to all people. But if the demand is there, then it's what's going to happen. Right now, I'm not seeing really anything in the market that's going to cause the prices to drop drastically. I mean, interest rates going up will have an impact because people are theoretically going to be able to afford less based on that. But I don't see many other major things happening here in Utah to cause that decline. Right now, there's so much demand for jobs and there's so much demand for housing overall that demand is still way up here and supply is still way down here. So we're seeing a massive rift between those two things. And until those get further, or at least I should say closer, together, we're not going to see any type of slowdown in prices or inventory for that matter. So we're going to continue to see these sales. I don't think we're going to see these massive percent changes that we did over the last year, just because there was a lot of other factors at play. But I do think that prices will continue to climb up for at least the next year or two. Right now, builders are constrained. They cannot build fast enough because there's supply chain issues, which means that builders are not going to be able to build new supply. So as people keep coming into the market, the housing that's there, it's vacant and available, it's going to get bought up or rented up very quickly, and people are going to take that on, and that's just going to continue to push prices up ever so slowly. So we will see, in my opinion, I think we're going to see somewhere between 5 to 10% increase over over the northern metro market over the next year. I could be wrong, but I think that's a pretty healthy number. We've already seen such a large increase that I think we're already kind of at the top, and I think a lot of people are leery about spending some of these numbers for a single family home, spending that amount of money, right? So I think it's going to be a little bit harder to see massive increases going forward, but this is just something to kind of keep in mind when it comes to real estate here in Utah, that prices are going up, and perhaps if you're making that move here, buying sooner than later, or even just locking in new construction with a builder might be the better option for you overall. So with all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Share this with a friend or a family member who might also find this content to be valuable. If they're looking at moving to Utah themselves, they would absolutely benefit from this video here. So share it with them, and also reach out to me if you're making that move here. Call, text, or email anytime. Absolutely love it when you guys reach out, and I cannot wait to hear from you as well. With all that said, catch you guys in the next one.